r/AskReddit. What dreams did you give up on? I have only one dream left. To retire. Please don't take that one away from me. 2. I will live in the back of my truck or in a cardboard box if I have to make that one come true. I realized a few weeks back that I never want to retire in the classical sense. Aka. Work your whole life until you've saved enough money and have enough in your 401k IRA to then get your yearly cash flow. Duck that. I'm 33. I'm leaving it all behind. I've worked the corporate grind for 13-14 years, college dropout. Make well over 100k a year. But I realize that I have zero inclination of continuing down the path that is the safe way. I've always been a self-starter in my spare time and know I will never retire. I don't want to retire. The concept of retirement sounds defeatist to me. I'm leaving my job this Friday. Moving to Costa Rica and traveling through Central America for a few months. Come back home to sublet my place for the 1st of January. Then disappear into the wilds again. I'm starting to live my life now. Duck chasing paper for the sake of buying hit and settling down cause it's the thing everyone does. Sorry man. I just don't like the idea of retirement as the beginning of life. I'm done wasting mine doing unfulfilling hits despite the paper. Good luck to you. I wish I have your courage. I used to want to act. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be in plays. I wanted to make people smile. Now I'm over 30 and work in real estate. And I never told anyone that I wanted this. Not even my closest friends or family. My little sister just graduated high school and has all the same aspirations, but she started doing theater years ago. So she's already working towards her goal. I push her to get some good skills to fall back on. But I'll be damned if I try to hit on her dreams. If you truly want to act, you can. I'm not talking about becoming the next superstar. But there are usually plenty of community theaters looking for people just willing to put in some time and passion. I have very little talent. But I love acting and just finished doing a local Shakespeare in the park. Just audition everywhere and anywhere you possibly can. I wanted to pursue music and play professionally in pit orchestras. But I needed to do something that would provide me with a good, stable income so that I could take care of my parents once they are old and can't work anymore. My parents aren't citizens and don't have social security. So they won't have any source of income once they retire. I decided to go to school for computer engineering and I think I like my major. I'm doing really well so far. If I keep this up I'll graduate with magna cum laude and maybe I'll go to graduate school. School is hell for me though because I put an immense amount of pressure on myself to do well so that I could provide for my family once it's my turn. My parents came here with nothing and have provided me with everything. So it's the least I can do. Right? You are a ducking superstar. Well done, there aren't enough like you in the world. Being a professional athlete. I played baseball through college. Played for a U18 USA national team against Germany and Japan. Etc. I've won a national title in a highly ranked league. Plus numerous personal awards. I played year-round since I was 5 years old. Eventually, I had to come to the very difficult realization that I was beyond the age of being considered by any professional team. It may sound stupid to some. But letting that go is one of the hardest things I've had to do. That was my identity for so long. I was known as the athlete in my family. Now, I barely have time to play beer league softball. I'm very happy where I'm at in life at this point. But would be lying if I said that I was okay with giving up on that dream. How close were you? I mean, you must have been considered at least if you played on the U18 national team. I was looked at a couple of times. Once by Texas and once by Minnesota. Perhaps by more. But those are the only two teams that vocally expressed any interest. With Texas, I had a skills tryout with a dozen other guys. I was doing very well. But overheard a couple of the scouts talking about me. And one said, yeah. But he's a little too old. I was 20. That's when reality started to set in. Other than that, I'm sure I was looked at. But was never really approached. I was quick on the base paths, hitting for very good average, batted .4151 year in college, with moderate power, 3-5 home runs per year. I was never a pure power force at the plate. And was one of the shorter players on every team, at 5 feet 11 inches. I attribute it to not being able to fully stand out. Though I may just not have been good enough to be noticed. Being tall. I'm 5 feet 2 inches. And almost 30. It's not going to happen. At least you passed 5 foot. I'm 4 minutes and 11 seconds. So close. Pretty much everything. Most people will do the same. As we all just kinda go to a job and go home realizing life just isn't turning out to be as great as we thought it would. Very true. Your dreams eventually become I hope I get to go to bed early tonight. And then you give up on that dream as you see how much work you still have to finish before tomorrow. Ever since I could remember I wanted to work with killer whales, orcas. I wanted to train them in a SeaWorld type setting so I could have the hands-on interaction with them. I got far with this dream. I actually worked at SeaWorld for 2 years, but I was in the aquarist department working with sharks, sea turtles, stingrays and a wide variety of fish. It was there that I fell in love with and gained invaluable appreciation for the other animals. From there I worked at several other marine animal parks with sharks, sea turtles, stingrays, fish, never orcas though. The closest I got was working with dolphins, and that was good enough for me. I moved from the aquarium biz to now protecting these animals in their natural environment, and I'm making more than double in half a year's work than I did in 2 years worth of work in the marine life park industry. And I was blessed to see orcas in their natural environment, which was an experience that changed my perspective on keeping those animals in captivity for our enjoyment. I never thought I'd be doing what I do now. Sometimes our dreams are accomplished in ways we never saw coming but end up being better than we ever imagined. This makes me happy. Getting my PhD. Don't get me wrong, it's still attainable. But at what cost? Edit. I'm not bashing those that got their PhDs or are currently in programs. It's just that personally, I can't maintain a lifestyle where I'd acquire that much debt. I'm not exactly full ride scholarship material. That's Dr. Skitronic. Think how many times you can be in a shat. An entire lifetime of a shattery. And an entire lifetime of crushing debt. Twofer. Wanted to fly aircraft for the Navy. But health history would never have gotten me that far. So I became an aerospace engineer instead. I wanted to be a meteorologist. My professor in college told us I don't know why any of you are in this class. Unless you're getting your pilot's license. There's no jobs in meteorology. 10 years later we get a Doppler weather station in my hometown. My brother-in-law studied meteorology and has yet to find a job. It's been over 4 years since he graduated. I feel bad for him. I'm sick of following my dreams. I'm just going to ask them where they're going. And hook up with them later. Mitch Hedberg. An escalator can never break. It can only become stairs. There would never be an escalator temporarily out of order sign. Only an escalator temporarily stairs. Sorry for the convenience. Mitch Hedberg. Capital I. Find this quote oddly inspirational. I find a lot of Mitch Hedberg quotes are inspirational, and I can just about apply most of his jokes into everything I can. Mitch is the man. 38 here. Life itself pretty much. Turns and twists in life led me down a path filled with regret and loss. Stuck in retail. Diabetic. Broke. And in debt. Too many details to get into it all. Blah. This thread is so depressing. Mostly because, for one reason or another, I can relate to everyone. Goodbye. Dreams. Sometimes I just dream about coming home from work and watching YouTube or getting a good book. Sometimes the little things keep me going more than anything. I guess I'm just trying to let you know that little happinesses are just as valid as the big dreams. Owning a house. Had a wife and kid. Was saving up for a down payment. Then she decided she didn't want to work anymore. Things fell apart. And now I have no wife. Split custody. And a child support payment that amounts to about 45% of my take home. I wanted to go to the moon. Thanks US government. Hey, if we're going to Mars by 2026, now maybe the moon isn't that far off to dream about. To give up on dreams, you have to have them in the first place. So you've never wanted anything for the future? R/aliens Among Us. Having a family. Yeah. Me too. I always thought I'd have a partner in life. But I really suck at picking them out. I'm 28 and I've given up. I bought a small 2-bedroom house. I'm getting my tubes tied. And I'm just going to live until I'm tired of it. Because everyone just ducks me and then ducks me over. I feel like I am so damaged that I could never be good for anyone. So I'm really done even trying. I don't really want to date. Because eventually it will just go terribly wrong. So I'm just focusing on things that I want to do. And have stopped picturing my life with another person in it. Well, maybe the problem was that you were focusing too much on having someone else to share your life with that you forgot to actually live your life. Now that you're doing things for you, someone else might just come along that likes those same things. But I don't know you. Well, maybe the problem was that you were focusing too much on having someone else to share your life with. Very much this. Don't give up. I met my significant other when he was 28. We just started talking harmlessly one day. In an online game. Neither of us were looking strongly for someone. It just sort of happened after a few months of talking. He told me a month or so after telling me his feelings for me that he had almost given up on finding a proper girlfriend. And if his degree took him nowhere, he was going to just call it quits and join the military. Sometimes it's better to not look for that someone. Because they might turn up when you least expect it. Being a novelist. You all gave me a boost of confidence, but that hit is hard. I'm trying to write a Ready Player One meets Brave New World style book, but I'm more didactic than funny, so it's difficult to keep the tone lighthearted. AskReddit is both my boon and my demise. When you're so used to getting instant feedback here, either through comments or karma, it's tough to write in a vacuum at your keyboard. I think failed novelists outnumber real novelists 10 to 1. The world is just so full of mediocrity and so little talent. But that's the beauty of it. Ready Player One meets Brave New World. Have you read M.T. Anderson's Feed? It's not exactly RPO meets BNW. But it's the title that popped into my head from that high concept pitch. Great book. Too. And, if I may, PM me if you need any help. I'm a developmental editor. So helping aspiring novelists is kind of what I do. I have a dream of making films. Independent films, cause I'm no Hollywood guy. As I type this, I'm in the midst of the casting process and I'm thinking of giving up. According to Robert Rodriguez, don't waste any time wanting to be a filmmaker. Because if you want to be one, you are. I'm sure there are some semantically driven problems if the aspiring filmmaker has never actually made a film. But I agree with Rodriguez entirely. It's not a level you have to achieve. It's a thing you are. You are a filmmaker. You just haven't fully realized what that means yet. Good luck. Makes sense. But I want to be a successful one, lol. I gave up on being a pilot because I have an astigmatism. You can see why. Not sure if pun. This guy is good. Being Spider-Man. Tried so hard as a kid. I can tell you microwaving spiders doesn't work. Teaching in America. The financial reality. Crippling bureaucratic approach to standardized everything that inevitably leads to even worse performance. And the lack of support concerning discipline for both students and parents made me realize the whole system is just a big pile of no thank you for me. Becoming the world's fastest grindcore drummer. Now I'm working to become the slowest doom metal drummer. Thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe to RedditQueen for the best daily content.